What's up, dedicated Dragon Ball denizens? I'm Ryan, and we're here for another episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. We've got some fun content today coming. I am going to be participating in a tournament hosted by Steb, a member of our community, who wants to do an old versus new Big Dog decks. Okay, so he's actually going to have an unbanned card tournament he's going to be hosting, and he's got 4 of the new leaders versus 4 of the old leaders. And there's a lot of talk on power creep. You know, would these new leaders who just dominate right now any of our old decks with limitations, how would they do versus the new decks? So we're going to find out. And everyone's assigned. We're going to be versus Top Coup. We're going to be versus Satan City, Halo Coup. We're going to be against Full Power Cell and, of course, Full Power Boo. And all of these Full Power. Don't know why I said that just for them. And I will be on Gogeta GT. So what I did here is I prepared, you know, if they were unbanned, how am I approaching this battle against decks that I've obviously never played, just kind of coming in blind. So I honestly think, number one, the older decks have the advantage, even though they've never played against the new ones either, but you kind of know, like, okay, how would I approach them? Whereas the newer decks, it's like, well, I already know how to beat them. And then someone like me who actually has never even played against a full power Top Coup because I wasn't playing it. I came right after the deck was banned. So let's get into it. All right, our first deck is Top Coup, Tournament of Power Goku. This deck, from what I hear, was a demon, and I did look at a lot of the top cuts in tournaments back then, and I mean, it was just all Top Coup back then. This card is, or this leader is really good. On its front side, it is one that's going to flip at 3. So they tried to kind of limit him and be like, okay, we're gonna make him awaken at 3 and still only be a 20k leader. Didn't work. Okay, it's activate main once per turn for 1 energy. Discard a card from your hand. Play a battle card with 20k power or less, and Tournament of Power from your hand. So that doesn't sound crazy, but just a lot of the cards were really, really good at that time. So what are some cards that I need to watch when I'm playing against Top Coup? Okay, the first one is still unbanned. It is going to be this Caulifla, or Crit Leaflet, as I like to call it, especially against me with Gogeta GT. I'm not a big fan of getting hit by crits. My hand size for a lot of the games already small. The deck can be inconsistent, so if I get one of my pieces critted into the drop, that could be devastating for me. So that's one of my biggest, especially early game cards, that I don't want to see, although I'm sure I will. Then the next one is going to be the Gohan SR, and then combining that with Whis. Okay, now one thing that I was thinking of that I would like to do, and my favorite way of awakening, is playing out my own Gohan 3 cost, right? Which is going to give me that 2 key, let me awaken, and then draw a card. A lot of times I like to just leave that card be. Well, that's not really going to be an option with this Gohan. I mean, I could if I want to, and I may still play it to awaken, but I'm not just going to be able to leave him hanging out there because he's going to easily KO it. Probably playing a Whis early, which is going to -5, and then this Gohan, when attacking, is going to take care of the remaining 15k. So that's going to be a problem. And then the Kefla. Now this Kefla is unbanned, actually, and we haven't seen Top Coup have a resurgence even with it. So really, this deck I'm not sure can really hang, because this was probably one of the toughest cards to see with that, because the Kefla is going to be a 4 cost, 20k. If your leader's awaken, it's 25. Draw a card on play, and then play a 3 or less Tournament of Power. So we're going to play something like that. And we can even use our leader skill to play it. So you can, if you really want to, at 5 energy, play 1 3 cost leader skill, another one 3 cost, and it's going to draw a card. Just, I mean, you see so much cheating out of cards nowadays that this just isn't that crazy anymore. It was just really bad because back then it was really the only deck that could do something like this. Now, there is the Roshi. I'm not even bringing him up because I don't think that he is great, the Roshi that was banned. But let's talk about the Ribrianne. Like, should I be worried about this card? Especially as a high life awakener. Getting down to 20k for a double strike just isn't that scary. I mean, getting a double strike in there that's only a 20k power just isn't that scary anymore. I think it's something that I'll probably be able to combo out of, but definitely do want to be aware of it. Don't want to get hit by it. Remembering that he can play this out for 1 if I get down to 2 life and then go all in with enough. So I will say, you know, I'll watch out for it. But I think Top Q's probably not going to be too much of a problem. What about some new cards in here? I won't be surprised to see something like a Chi-Lai be teched into the deck. Just a good generic card that lets you basically cheat out a 2 cost for 1. I know that you can't leader skill this one out, so that'll probably help. So I don't know, maybe not. I've seen some Top Q's play this one in the deck as is. It's a good one that you can use at 5 energy, use your leader skill, play out a few cards, really try to get you down to 2, and then use this rather than the Ribrianne. And honestly, I mean, this one's kind of better, you know, at this point when you really think about it. It's a double strike it's a double strike when you're at 2, which is obviously when you're going to be using it. So I think we might not even see Ribrianne. We might just see this. The other one I might think of, like, would they play the Gogeta BR? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's a 6 cost. It's 0 combo. Doesn't really go with the deck. You're not going to be able to use leader skill, but I won't be surprised to see it. Okay, now what are my key cards that I'm going to be playing? Oh, wait, oh, there's one more. I forgot to add him in. Well, why didn't he get added in? Another card that you'll probably see is actually this one. Wasn't around when the deck was just made, but it was some support that it got, and this is a really good card. 4 costs 20k, 10k. This actually gets 10k power if our leader is awakened, and then we're going to draw 2 cards. So this one actually goes hand positive with leader skill. This one's good. All legal, but I mean, again, we're not really too scared of a lot of the cards. I think Pinnacle is going to be a key card if they're going to be playing out the Goten. That's going to just take away his double strike. I don't think it does too much against other ones. I mean, maybe if they misplay and, you know, don't strike with their Gohan first or something like that. I think Pinnacle will be a solid card to see, and we're going to really see this card just turning off a lot of these old decks. So that's nice. And then the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think, is another key card. And again, this one's going to come up a lot as we're going through this, because these are decks that kind of leave cards on board, and the Goku just destroys your opponent's entire board. Next up is going to be the Halo Ku or Satan City deck. This deck was really redefined what a swarm deck was, in my opinion. A lot of times swarm decks are just swarming the board and attacking. Now Satan City swarmed the board, but most of the cards didn't even attack. They were just kind of there to do stuff, right? It was really a deck where your hand size stayed at 7 and took advantage of that, to where you were having a lot of these weenies on board, like 1 cost cards, and you're just attacking with them. You comboing a card in hand and then going down to 7 and then getting cards back from drop to either go right above 7 or stay there. So it was really wild, and it's a very consistent deck. You know, if you can be a consistent deck to see all your pieces, you're probably going to win, right? And we see that from here. It was a draw 2, then place 1 card from your hand on top of your deck, and the whole deck really revolved around, you know, looking at the top card of your deck, and if it was Satan City, then some type of effect happens, right? So real nice. And then, I mean, I noticed that didn't even use this ability that much. Switch a card to rest mode. If you have 7 or fewer, this card gets plus 10k for the battle, so not bad there. Fun. All right, so what does this deck do, though? Okay, we've got to go past this next one. Pilaf Loop. This really is what killed the deck for the most part, and because this Pilaf card was just ridiculous. Okay, look at it. It doesn't seem very crazy. when we first look at it, right? One costs 5k, 10k. On play, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, add up to 1 card with a cost of 1 or less in Earthling from his special traits from your drop to your hand. Okay, the thing about this card is he could grab himself. So what you would do is peel off into Final Hope Slash. So once you play the peel off, you get a peel off back from your drop, and then you use Final Hope Slash, and you can just get that same friggin' peel off from your board to your hand. A lot of times what you'll do is something like this, is you play a peel off, grab something back, play a second peel off, grab something back, attack with the peel off or something else, Final Hope Slash, grab the peel off back, one of those from the board so that you can play him out again. And it's just a ridiculous loop. When you're going for game, then you're able to just use this a lot. And there's even a card that lets you play an extra for free. So sometimes you get one of these for free. The peel off also grabs back the Final Hope Slash. So you might start your turn with 1 peel off, grab the Final Hope Slash, play another peel off, and then just attack. You get what's going on. You get what's going on. It's just crazy. You can attack with the first one and then grab the second one. It was just wild to see all of this happening and just using it time after time after time, and just never running out of cards in hand either, because of the way that it worked. So that's really what you want to watch for with this deck, is going to be the peel off loop. Other cards I thought about, like the Great Saiyaman is also a really big one in terms of its removal. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost less than or equal to the number of cards with Satan's City in your battle area placed at the bottom of their deck. You know, they can get a lot of cards on board. And for the most part, you know, they're not going to get more than like 6 or 7. So if I get my Vegeta out there and just like get him up to a 7, it's going to be really hard. But really, once again, I'm probably just going to want to go with my Goku and just destroy their board, because then you have this guy. So this Hercule is a 1 cost 5k, 10k, and again, just like most of these cards, not very menacing. But when attacking, reveal the top card. If it has Satan's City, choose a battle card and reduce its cost by 2. So that's why they're going to be able to reduce by 2 my Vegeta and then bottom deck it. So you think you're safe. Oh man, they only have this many cards. They only have this much energy. They're not going to be able to bottom deck. Well, play a Hercule or 2, and now everything's bottom decked. All right, other cards. Now, you did see a lot of Satan's Cities playing the original Vegito SCR 6 cost, which was a 40k that could restand and return a card to hand. Now, I would not be surprised, and in fact, I'll actually be surprised if I don't see the Satan City playing this card in the deck. Halo Coup is like a really controlled deck that really draws the battle out for a long time. So they're probably going to get you to 15 or less. So if what they're going to try to do, grind you down, grind you down, grind you down. Oh, cool. They're at 3 life. They have a few cards in hand and 15 or less in deck. Boom. Let's throw this guy out and end the game. I think that they'll probably play this card. Okay. And it's definitely better than the original 6-drop SCR in there. The other one I wouldn't be surprised to see. Oh, I didn't even put, where'd he go? Did I put him in? Okay, never mind. The 6-drop Goku. Let me actually see if I can just kind of find it. But the double strike Goku, the 5-drop, I wouldn't be surprised to see that, because they are able to play that extra for free. So that Goku, if I can throw him in here. I know. And it's funny, I was just talking about how we should cut if stuff like this happens. To my wife, but I'm not going to do that because we have them up. Okay, so here's the Goku. I have the client open, right? So on play, the next time you use a non-field extra with original cost of 2 or less, activate that skill again. So they could do something like a double Final Hope Slash on you, and now this guy is going to be like a 70k or something like that. And they're probably going to be able to play that extra for free. So this one I wouldn't be surprised to see. And then I also just skipped, once again, the key cards are going to be the Pinnacle and SS4 Goku, because we're able to Pinnacle some of their 1-drops on board to do things like preventing them from using the free extra, things like that. Maybe a Videl, the 2-cost Videl. I'm not as worried about a lot of these cards. 2-cost Videl, not going to do much. The SS Saiyaman Gohan, I'm not too worried about. It's going to only bottom deck 3 costs, so not too bad. I mean, Great Saiyaman can make things worse, but this one I feel like I can pretty easily win as long as I see that Goku. All right, now these next 2 decks I'm actually the most worried about. Probably Evil Boo most of all. Evil Boo is just 2 simple things, but it just is really, really tough to play against. I've always hated the Majin Buu Evil deck because it just doesn't let you play the game because of its hand destruction. It's going to have you discard cards from hand and it draw cards in hand. And that is just a lot. And I hope that Bandai never, ever, ever does any type of hand destruction again. And then it has its Double Strike, which is going to free play what I think it's a 3-cost. I don't know if it could play a 4-cost or not, but the 3-cost is really what you're worried about. And then it just hits you like 25,000 times. Okay. Because when attacking, draw a card only once per turn. But when your battle card with Majin or Evil Wizard is KO'd, switch this card up to one of your energy to active mode. Usually it's going to be this card. So your leader's getting 2 swings in a turn. Okay, cards to watch here is like, oh man, I'm getting like World War II flashbacks just looking at this card. Bobbity. Okay, Bobbity's a 3-cost 5k, but on play, if your leader has Majin and special traits, play a battle card with a cost of 3 or less and Majin and special traits from your hand. So they're going to free play either the Buff Boo or the Evil Boo that we're going to talk about in a second. When KO'd, if your opponent has 6 or more cards in hand, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. So this is rough. So if your opponent, if you play the Evil Boo with it, then we discard 2 if we have 8 in hand, which is just crazy. Okay, let's talk about it. All right, right into Evil Boo. So this is really like kind of the turn 3 or turn 2 if they have a marker, and then turn 3 again, and then probably turn 4. They're going to just keep doing this same exact play. So this one is KO one of your battle cards, draw a card. Then if your opponent has 6 or more cards in their hand, your opponent discards 1. So if your opponent has 8 in hand when you play that Bobbity, you're going to KO the Bobbity. They discard 1. And then this effect activates. They discard another one and you draw 1. So that's -2 for them, +1 for you. And guess what? This guy still gets to attack. And then guess what? If he's alive next turn, you get to do it again if you want. Or just play another Bobbity into Boo. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. And then the Double Strike. Okay, so if you survive all that and you somehow just draw a lot or, whatever, we get a Double Strike. On play, play up to 1 battle card with 4 or less and Majin or Evil Wizard in special traits. So yeah, it can be a 4 or less. But usually what they're doing is this. Okay, so and especially now with it being unbanned, this guy is going to play this guy, and then this guy is going to play this guy. Okay, so this guy here, permanent, he can't be switched to active mode during your charge phase, whatever. Activate main, KO one of your battle cards. If your leader has Majin, switch this card to active mode. So, think about this. You're at 4 life, because this was what happened for the most part. And if you weren't around, okay, many of you are probably familiar with this, but you're at 4 life, you get hit by a 30k swing, and you already only have like 5 or 6 cards in hand because you've been getting hand ripped the whole game. So you get 30k, and then you KO the Bobbity. If you were somehow at 5 or 6 cards, and now you're still at 6, then you discard 1, you go down. This guy attacks you again. You might be at 3 by then. Oh man, I'm barely surviving. Your opponent hits you with 2 leader swings because they hit you once. Once they KO the Bobbity, they hit you again. They're probably comboing up because they have 10 to 15 cards in hand. And then finally, after all of those swings, you're down to 2 and they get you with the double strike. It's just insane. Now, I think we do have the advantage of being a leader that can stay high life. So the real key to this battle is staying high life for as long as possible, especially those early leader swings, so that once these 30s start coming out, that we're okay. And they're at 4 life, and they're going to have trouble dealing with your 30k swings, with your just whatever, all of your battle cards. So it will be a little bit tough, but not undoable. Some new cards. I mean, I don't think they're gonna go with any of these. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one teched in, but I think they really want, with the unbanned other 3-cost Bobbity, they probably want to stick to aggro. This is more of a control-y kind of dragging out build. I don't expect to see this, but I want to be ready for it in case. You know, this one's obviously going to make any of their card a blocker. Which this one I may see. You know, it's a good turn 2 play if they go first. Maybe, maybe not. This one, not sure. It's a 0 cost. It can't be KO'd by our skills. It's going to rest everything 5 or less on player when KO'd. So it's a good card, but I don't know for sure if the deck needs it. Just some other ones here. I wouldn't be also surprised to see the starter Majin Vegeta. It is a Majin or a Wicked Soul. I think that I think he gets back. No, I think it has to be, I don't remember his leader skill. I'm looking at him right now. Majin or Evil Wizard. Okay, so this guy can't get your leader back to active if he gets KO'd. But solid card. So maybe we don't see that one. Maybe Zangia. I mean, I don't think they quite have the energy to do it, but it would be a solid card. Maybe they play Bobbity into this one. And then they try to leave it. I don't know. This one would also be an interesting one. When KO'd, they discard a card and then they could play it again. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. So what are my key cards? So to me, like, I need to survive until I can start playing my Gogetas, I think. And then I can start getting some cards in hand to kind of counter what they're doing. I think also getting the Gohan GT out there. A lot of times they're not always playing resting cards. They don't quite have the energy early turns. They want to just go Bobbity into Boo. So this guy may be able to stay out here and help me recover some of those cards that they're ripping from my hand. So I think I'll be relying on this, hopefully using it to awaken. Pinnacle's still going to be a great card because it will stop that 3-cost Bobbity, or the 3-cost buff Boo from awakening. If they sequence their things wrong, I can even turn off the Bobbity completely. It'll only be for a turn, so it's, you know, could be delaying the inevitable unless I go with my Goku. Oh, and I don't have him here. But I think Goku's also a key. Obviously, Sparking is going to be a key as well to stop them from hitting me with their double strike. So I think I have enough tech in the deck just naturally to counter. But the problem is that there's so much hand ripping happening here that I may have to discard key pieces that are going to be good defense. So I'm definitely afraid of Evil Boo. And finally, we've got the Red Cell, another deck that was devastating, although arguable to some people if this deck really was ever a threat, as it didn't actually win any regionals until post-ban, if I remember right. It kept getting second place, but remember also we had the Evil Boo running rampant. That took multiple bans to kill Boo. So, you know, we've got that. Fix my text a little bit. Now, Cell is crazy because of its a huge leader swing. When attacking, if a battle card with Android and special traits is removed by a skill, draw a card, then this card gets plus 20k. So he is a nice little ticking time bomb. Again, remembering that a lot of our, at this point in time, most of our leaders were awakening at 4. So it's kind of a ticking time bomb of how long can you survive against a card that is taking a super and another, or if not, at least 3 cards out of hand just from a leader swing. And then from there, it has just tons of other swings. It has a whole loop that's allowing us to get, you know, just attack multiple times, and those are oftentimes going hand neutral. And then from there, okay, so what do we got here? All right, let's go through here. And first card to watch is going to be the self-destruct. I hate this card. This card costs 1, KO 1 battle card with Android and special traits. If your leader is Android only, draw a card, so it goes hand neutral. Then choose a battle card with 3k power or less and KO it. And this basically, because of the other cards we're going to talk about, it's so easy to get any card down to 30k. It's a given. It's going to happen. So any card gets KO'd. So this was limited to 1 and really did kill the deck. Now, seeing this at full power is going to be scary. The other one here that was limited to 1 was this cell. This one's 5 cost 30k, 10k. Now this one, you're going to play it off of a 4k, and I think maybe we should talk about that one real quick. So choose a battle card and it gets minus 10k. So right there, right? Once we're starting the chain, pretty much any card that's a 40k is minus 10. Now it's 30. It's in self-destruct range. You're going to attack with a 25k, and then you're going to place an Android 18 in this card in your drop. If your leader's Android only, draw a card, then play a cell with 30k from your hand. And then also remembering that Android 18, we have 8 different copies of that card that we're playing for 1. 8 different copies we're playing for 1 that are also, remember, going hand neutral. And in this one's case, looking at the top 3 cards, and we're going to search and then minus 5k from another card. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so this 5 costs, and then guess what? When on play, we're going to add a card with 4 less from drop to hand. We're either going to get back that 4 cost cell that we just put into drop, or guess what? Self-destruct. And then, if that doesn't make things worse, when KO'd, if your leader is Android only, play an Android 18 with a cost of 2 or less from drop. So a lot of times, this is the craziest part of it all, when your opponent's going for game, they're going to have attacked you with a 30k cell. They're going to self-destruct this guy, KO him, and then be able to play a card like, I don't have it in this deck, but they're going to be able to play a 2-cost Android 18 that can attack you. Like, what? They're going to get an extra attack after all this. So usually it's going to be something like this one here. And, so it's in battle, it gets plus 5k. It's just crazy. Like, it's insane. And that's not all. If you survived all that, well, guess what? And before they use the self-destruct, they're going to be playing these guys for 3. 3 costs 15k. On play, minus a card by 5. So if you have a big body, they're just going to play a bunch of these guys for free. And they're also going to, because they have such a gigantic hand, because they've been going hand neutral this entire time, then they're going to be just comboing a card up to get to 20k and just chipping away at you until you go. On this one, I don't expect Cell to have any other cards. This is an Android deck. I don't think any new cards are going to go in this deck and threaten, but here we are. What are our key cards? Once again, Pinnacle. Pinnacle is going to make them not be able to attack with the 4 cost. And that 4 cost attack of 25, keeping a card of yours in hand, is going to be key to this matchup. We have to see Pinnacle. And then I think kind of we're going to need a double action thing here of playing the Goku so that we can just destroy the board. But then the worst part is that also makes this deck so tricky is that when we KO that 5 cost cell, it gives them the ability to just play this one or play another 1 cost. And a lot of times you can't do anything to that card, right? Because historically, KOing a 5 cost took a lot. Usually if you're KOing a 5, then that's it for the turn. You have no other ways to remove. But guess what? We have Big Bang Kamehameha. So you're probably going to want to do, or what I'm going to want to do, is bring out that Goku, KO their cell. When it brings out this little 2 cost, then I can just BBK, and they've got to start from scratch again. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. Hope you enjoyed this one. Is there any strategies that I am missing? Not sure if I'll see it before the tournament, and I am releasing this video probably an hour or two before it even starts, but let me know. I need all the help I can get. Let's see if we could get Gogeta GT, SS4 to be able to take this home. If you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Hawks Nest, a fearless flock of fabulous folks who love to do what we love out here. I'm going a little fast. I got to get to work. All right, so I will see you all next time. See you.